Hey everybody, welcome back to FSP Forex Stock Predictions. Hope you are all having a great day. I am the Vortex Trader, and today we are checking back in. Why? Because we have an awesome, perfect setup on the DAX 40 for our London scalping breakout 1, 2, 3 boom trading strategy, however you want to call it. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Right, guys, so there are a ton of videos that I have put together in a playlist for you. I'm going to be linking that at the top right hand corner of your screen right now. That particular playlist has a lot of these videos showing exactly how I trade this particular setup. Right, go ahead and watch them. They are for educational purposes only. Go ahead and learn how another trader actually goes about finding a strategy, tweaking the strategy over time, using it in the actual markets. And something that I want to do, and I'm thinking as early as the end of January, mid-January, once the markets settle down, once 2023 begins, which is as soon as 6 weeks away. I'm going to be using this strategy live on YouTube during a funding prop firm challenge, right? We're going to put the strategy to the test, the literal stress test, and see if we can get funded using this setup. But we still have some time in the markets to tweak as we go, right? And we should be tweaking as we go because markets conditions will always change, right? They are not going to be the same forever. What strategy worked last week may not work this week, right? If it worked last month, it may not work next month. The trick is tweaking it and keeping it solid and consistent. So even if the market conditions are not favorable towards your particular strategy, you will keep trading the same damn strategy because that is the key to consistency. You cannot change your strategy if the markets are not in your favor, right? Trading is very similar to surfing. For those of you that love surfing, you take your surfboard out into the ocean and you wait. You wait for a wave to come. And you will take every single wave, especially when you are learning, right? Because that is how you succeed. Right? So the way that I like to trade is I take every single possible setup that presents itself as long as my criteria are met, my criteria are created, and the list of rules that I have created for myself, I construct these whilst backtesting. So do not be afraid of backtesting, guys. Go through the charts, go through each day. If you are scalping on the 15-minute like I am, go put the in the trading view, you get this replay mode and you can go back in time and you can literally backtest over years and years and years of data. Go back in time, do it day after day after day. I promise you, this is how you get good. This is if you want to be a purely technical trader. You are looking at the charts and you are waiting for a setup to present itself. So this setup I would class as a grade A setup because it had everything in it that I like to see when entering a position like this with full confidence and zero anxiety. And what was that? I like to see a tight Asian trading range that was created during the Asian market. I like to see a support zone that was hit multiple times. I'd like to see a resistance zone that was hit multiple times during the Asian trading hours. And then as London opens up, generally we could see within the first hour or two of trading, I like to see a breakout candle. Now, sometimes we get lucky and we see the breakout candle literally as London opens up. This is the opening of the London market. This candle, you can see I have a horizontal, I have a vertical line represented on the charts showing me when London opens up. We can see the volatility increase, we can see the liquidity increase, and we can see this giant breakout candle. Now, we have our moving average moving slightly through the top part of the breakout candle. If the moving average was above this breakout candle and did not touch the breakout candle, I would not have entered the trade. Even though it may have worked out in my favor, I would not have entered it because my rules stipulate that I have to see the moving average move through the top part of the breakout candle. If we were trading long, if we were going long, I'd like to see the moving average move through the bottom part of the breakout candle. right? These are rules that I have come up for myself. This is something that I need to see in order for me to take the trade with confidence and to give me zero anxiety and whilst trading in a carefree state of mind. Okay, we are never going to know the reason why a trade worked out in our favor. We're never going to know the actual reason why a trade never worked out in our favor. But the trick is we have to trade these with zero fear. And we can only do that if we are comfortable with the setup. So we had our breakout candle. I then like to use a market order to enter at the close of the breakout candle. Put my stop loss a couple of pips above the top of the breakout candle, and my target is always a 1 to 1.7. Yes, I could have held this and we could have gotten even more. We could have gotten a 1 to 2. We could have held deep into those wicks. We could have gotten a 1 to 2.5. 100%. Yes. Why do I trade a 1 to 1.7? What is the answer? The answer is backtesting. This is something that I have found for myself personally works for me when choosing a target. Of course, we could look left and we could look at previous price structure. Of course, we could find previous zones that we think price would move to. Of course, we could maybe look at some imbalance in the market. We could look at order blocks. We could look at many things that would help us find a target. That's all great. That's fantastic. In fact, I encourage you all to do that. But the only way you're going to do that successfully is by backtesting that approach. If you're looking for imbalance, or you're looking for an order block, or you're looking for supply and demand zones, whatever you are looking for with regards to finding your target, then go back in time. Find those targets using whatever it is that you are looking for. For me, I have found that 1 to 1.7 RR, regardless of what is happening on the left, works for me when trading on the DAX. But only on the DAX, because I use a very similar strategy on GBP USD on the exact same time frame, right? I wait for London to break out. This is where London opened up right here. We could see we were still within this trading range. Resistance up above, a little bit of support below. We could even bring up the support line right here. We can see this is clearly trading between these two zones. Now that we have a breakout candle that is happening live as I am recording this, this could be a potential reason to go long. Okay, why? We've broken through this top of this resistance, right? This vertical line right here is Asian market. This vertical line right here is London, right? So like I always say, positions could start an hour or two into these sessions, and occasionally you'll see the actual candle itself as the market opens up give us an entry. So what I would be looking at for this potentially is something like this. First of all, I'm going to highlight this candle from the bottom wick to the top, and I'm going to turn it yellow. Let's do that quickly. Come on, there we go. Right, now yellow at the moment represents a possible entry, right? If I was using this to go long, I would have already entered at the close of this breakout candle right here, because we could see we broke above this resistance, this resistance, this resistance, this particular zone. We closed above it. Right now with GBP USD, I like to target a 1 to 2 risk to reward. So what I would do is my entry would be using a market order at the close of the breakout candle. My stop would always go a couple of pips below the bottom of the breakout candle, somewhere there, and I would always target a 1 to 2 risk to reward. That is what my position would look like for something like this. Now we forget, but we do have to form some sort of bias, right? These trades on the 15 minutes, we need to make sure that we are on the right side of the market. So what I like to do is I like to check the 4-hour chart and the daily chart. We can obviously see we are bullish in the daily chart. The 4-hour chart, we have been seeing some sideways action, not too much going on right now. This is where we are currently. We still have 3 hours. No, we got 3 minutes and 30 seconds until this candle closes, this 4-hour candle closes, and we do have clearly this resistance up above right here. So taking that into consideration would then, I would go back to the 15-minute chart and I would think, here is that 4-hour resistance, right? It's where we're sitting right now. Is this a strong enough sort of entry to warrant me taking this position? Now remember how we say we have to take every opportunity that presents itself, because we do not know if the trade is going to work, and we don't know if the trade's going to lose, and we don't know the reason why it would work or why it wouldn't work, right? We don't know that this resistance is going to hold right now. It could completely go all the way past it and hit our target, or it might not. So we would then grade these particular setups. We would say all of the factors are in order. We have the London opening market, we have it opening up, and then a couple of hours later we see our breakout. Cool. We have a tight Asian trading range. Cool. We have everything else in play. However, we are sitting at resistance on the 4-hour chart. Do we want to take that risk? So what would we do? We could decrease, if we wanted to jump into this sort of position, we could decrease our position size, right? Decrease our lot size and take the trade, but don't risk as much, because we never know what the markets are going to do. We don't know if this candle is going to be the candle, or the next candle going to be the candle that bounces right through this resistance, or is it going to completely reject and do what it did here, 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 and here, and reject and come all the way back down to support. We don't know. That's why we have to take every opportunity, because when we're trading, we also have to remember we're trading in sample sizes, right? We have to commit to the next massive batch and group of trades no matter what. That's the only way that we're going to know and find consistency and see if we are profitable or not. So what I would then do, if I jumped into this trade, I would then do the same thing that I've done here. I would write this information down. I would take a snapshot. I would wait to see what happens. Whether it loses or wins, it does not matter. You are not going to win every single trade, and you all know that already. Right, so back to the DAX. My point for this was that for GBP USD, I've just found that 1 to 2 RR works for GBP USD for this type of strategy. And on the DAX, 1 to 1.7 is generally what I like to look for. Okay, guys, so excuse the rant. I'm just trying to show you how other people think in terms of these particular setups, right? There are a lot of different breakout traders out there. There are a ton. There is a lot of breakout and retest traders, right? And we could see that if we would have done that here, we may have gotten an entry. The market broke out, it then retested the same support zone before carrying on further south. Now that would have gotten us a much higher risk to reward. But you cannot change your strategy in the live market. Trade what you trade your strategy, and that is all you have to do. Do it systematically. Don't and over every single trade, because you can't do that with a hefty amount of capital, especially if you're funded or you're trading a personal account or you're trading your friends and family, money. It's very important. You have to be systematic with your approach if you are that type of trader. This is why it is so important to backtest. Find an edge that you're comfortable with. I cannot say it enough, but it is so true. A lot of guys are like, oh, don't really want to do the backtesting. I'd rather copy your strategy from YouTube. And there are a ton of strategies online that you can copy off of YouTube. And there are 99 reasons why you will not trade the strategy exactly the same as the guy from YouTube. Right? And a lot of those 99 reasons form within your own mind. Okay, mindset is such an important factor, and we forget this. We think we could copy the same strategy, we could use it, and we could trade just as well as the next guy. And whilst that may be possible, it is not always true. This is why the best traders, the profitable traders, all find a little niche within the markets. They find what works for them. They look for something that works with their personality, their trading style, their mindset, how they operate, their screen time, the way they handle their screen time, their patience within the markets. These things all play a very important role, and we need to take that into consideration when finding a strategy that works for us. So for me personally, this breakout strategy I find works really, really well. I don't only scalp on the 15-minute, guys. You guys also know that I do order blocks, right? I do 4-hour swing trading using order blocks. You can see on Euro USD, I have been waiting for this particular zone for price to come back down now since the 10th of November. So it's been a while, and I've seen no other potential setups using my order block strategy that I like to trade. So patience, right? Find what works for you. I like to swing the 4-hour time frames using order blocks, and I like to scalp the DAX 40 and GBP USD during the London market session. If this trade would have lost, if this trade would have stopped me out right there, I would then wait for New York to open up. If there was an entry during New York, I would take it. If I would have lost that trade, I walk away. That's 2 trades. I only allow myself a maximum of 2 losses per day. But since this was a winning position, I'm now done and I am walking away. So whether or not GBP USD is going to reach this target or not, my entry came on the DAX 40, right? I am not a selfish trader. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing, right? There are some scalpers out there on the 2-second charts that will take trade after trade after trade after trade. They might get 12 wins, 20 wins within a day. That is fantastic. But for me personally, I'm conservative for myself. If I have a win in the morning, then I'm done. Finished. Walk away, come back tomorrow. The markets are not going anywhere. Okay, guys, so hope you enjoyed that video. Let's wrap it up. Excuse the ranting. It is just something that we all need to listen to occasionally, right? It's important to see how other traders do these things. I love it. I love it when I go onto YouTube or a podcast and I'm listening to these traders go on about how they see the markets and why they do this and why they don't do that. I love it. So yeah, that's just how I did it for today. So thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this and you found value, please would you go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, leave us a comment in the comment section below, and I will be seeing you all in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. See you later.